NextGen Jane develops smart tampon. Hello everyone. I am your host with an amazing brand new video in which we will talk about NextGen Jane develops smart tampon. First of all, be sure to subscribe our YouTube channel for more informative videos. May 9, 2016. Imagine women of the world getting monthly information about your reproductive health and fertility that are simple to access. One of the genomics startups approved into the third investment cycle of Illumina Accelerator, NextGen Jane Incorporated, aims to empower women by providing them with access to useful health information using its smart tampon technology. Using the data they have access to each month, the objective is to assist women in making educated decisions regarding their health and fertility. The co-founders of NextGen Jane, Rithi Tareel and Stephen Jair, discuss the company's goals, their time in the Illumina Accelerator, and what lies next. How did each of you get the idea to establish NextGen Jane? Rithi: I was seeking materials to help me understand my fertility as a woman in my 30s, but there weren't many out there, especially outside of the fertility clinic. By starting a reproductive health scientific research for which I served as patient zero, I was able to gather the information that helped me understand my fertility. Even while it was a moment of empowerment, it occurred to me that the majority of women don't have access to such resources. This influenced the fundamental tenet of our philosophy, which holds that women ought to have access to their health information to make wise life decisions. Stephen: I spent 10 years conducting infectious disease research in Africa, where we had to improvise because of the poor infrastructure. I got pretty skilled at coming up with straightforward solutions and beautiful designs to produce high-quality health information. A similar strategy is needed to create healthcare solutions for use at home. Sometimes the most significant innovations are the simplest ones. What do you see as the company's long-term goals? Rithi: our long-term objective is to provide women all around the world with optimal and widespread access to preventative care. Ovarian cancer and endometriosis are our initial targets. They are significant issues that require prompt attention. In the long run, we want this to become a regular monthly routine that women follow. Many of us already keep calorie and fitness logs for ourselves. We want women to monitor their reproductive health as soon as possible so they can control their fertility on a much more individualized basis. To involve researchers in their work, we're also interested in employing our device as a research instrument. You indicated that you are currently concentrating on ovarian cancer and endometriosis. Why specifically those circumstances? Rithi: although endometriosis affects roughly 10% of women, it is rarely discussed. In the United States, it takes an average of 7 years from the beginning of symptoms, which include incapacitating pain, to the diagnosis. Because endometriosis is frequently misdiagnosed, many women eventually lose their ability to conceive. Just doesn't make sense, does it? We don't want to live in a world like this, Stephen and I. Our goal in this case is to enhance outcomes through early detection. Stephen: because most patients present with advanced stages of the disease, the lack of a reliable diagnostic for ovarian cancer has resulted in a dismal 5-year survival rate. We get access to cell populations through the tampon that is not available through blood sampling. We believe that the early identification of ovarian cancer may be within our purview given this access to reproductive resources. Talk about the state of technology today. What is the aim? Stephen: we had a prototype when we first entered Illumina Accelerator, and while it was usable, it lacked reproducibility. We developed a method that collects fluid from tampons for genetic research. We were connected to Fathom, a design company, through Amanda Cashin, co-founder and head of Accelerator, and they have helped us refine that prototype to increase the overall yield and efficiency. Our device is now being made in preparation for our clinical study. These units will produce the pilot data we want to submit an application to the FDA for regulatory approval. After receiving permission, we may start providing women with useful tools like our smart tampon to help them manage their health. NextGen in the third class of the Illumina Accelerator. 4 genomics startups were selected, including Jane. What have you learned so far? Stephen, our current success is largely due to Illumina Accelerator. We were able to produce our first genomic data collection thanks to our initial grant. It quickened the pace of our work. We are currently on the verge of producing terabytes of data related to women's health. Right, when you take a big risk, you attract curiosity, but it's challenging to convince the first individual to commit. It's a typical difficulty for individuals just beginning out. Investor interest in our financing event was sparked once they learned that Illumina Accelerator had contributed funds, space, and next-generation sequencing capabilities. Additionally, Illumina possesses a wealth of knowledge, particularly in the field of women's health. We had access to Illumina's cutting-edge technology and highly skilled workforce. A network of startups researching next-generation sequencing capabilities is fantastic, and we have developed strong relationships with a number of them. We had jobs in coffee shops before we joined Illumina Accelerator. It's another thing to work with a close-knit group of people who share the same technology and are conversant in the lingo and snags of a genomics firm. Funding is received for Smart Tampon. NextGenJane, a provider of reproductive health technology, has raised $9 million in a Series A fundraising round. With Material Impact, who served as the round's lead investor, other investors included Access Industries, Viking Global Investors, Liminal Ventures, and several illustrious angel investors. NextGen women and people who menstruate are transforming how they interact with and access healthcare thanks to Jane, a data-driven health startup. Through the company's Smart Tampon platform, customers can easily mail in reproductive tract cells that are lost during menstruation. Jane intends to enable early diagnosis of catastrophic reproductive illnesses, which can currently take up to a decade to identify, by constructing genetic classifiers for specific disease states. According to Reilly Turriel, co-founder and CEO of NextGenJane, menstrual effluence works as a natural biopsy of the female reproductive canal, giving unparalleled access to cells for identifying disorders. This round of funding comes at a crucial point in Jane's development. The business now intends to use the funding to further enhance its scientific data collection in a few reproductive health sectors, putting it for commercialization sometime in 2020. The company has successfully converted its technology from a prototype to a beta product. The Boston-based venture capital firm Material Impact, which is leading the round, sees investment in NextGenJane as essential to its investment thesis of transforming cutting-edge materials technologies into goods and businesses that address pressing issues in industries such as healthcare, food and water supply, energy, and industrial productivity. Adam Sharkawy, founder and managing partner of Material Impact and a former life sciences healthcare executive, said, "At Material Impact we look for groundbreaking materials-based innovations that have the potential to democratize access to the resources we need most." The global market for women's health is $36.5 billion and expanding, but a vast majority of women lack access to the treatment they require, even in developed countries like the United States, where half of the nation's more than 3,000 counties have no practicing OBGYNs. With the help of Jane's innovative technological platform, intrusive diagnostic tests used in clinics may be replaced with a beautiful and straightforward fix, enabling women all over the world to actively control their health. We are thrilled to be teaming with Material Impact to bring to market a better way to manage health, Turriel underlines. For many impoverished communities, decoupling sample collection from the clinic is a straightforward but efficient strategy to increase access to care. Geography and affluence are having an increasing impact on access to healthcare in the US and around the world. For her part, Jane is developing economical solutions that establish care apart from physical locations and enable tailored preventative care to meet the impending resource problem in medicine. According to Katie Adams, head of community development at the Primary Care Research Institute sponsored by the Markham Institute, an organization dedicated to democratizing access to services like healthcare and education in vulnerable communities, 1 in 5 Americans live in primary care deserts, and a national physician shortage makes it impossible to Catch up. At PCRI, we strive to make choosing a healthy lifestyle simple for every local and international population. So here is the end of this interesting video. Did you like it? Please post your valuable comments in our comment section. And remember to subscribe to our channel.